Hey Void, 50 Rizzo back, and I'm finally touching my Friday the 13th collection again. I got back on this kick back right after I reviewed Crystal Lake Memories and started watching through all of them. And about a week or three ago, I finally did the review on part 7. Well, I finally finished this individual collection. Still have other Friday the 13th movies that were not in this one, but finally at least getting this one out of my queue. Friday the 13th, part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Alright, I'll be right out there. This is my least favorite Friday. And unlike a lot of other movies where I say that I'm willing to give them another chance, that it's been a long time since I've seen them, and I'm willing to try to give them the benefit of the doubt, like the reference scene of Chucky last time. Not really the case here. This one I've seen enough times to know I still don't care for it. There's a few things here or there that work, but mostly this one's just head-scratching and frustrating. Alright, so a lot has already been said about Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan, that doesn't work. And even the film crew who knew that this wasn't working. Okay, so you'd think Jason rampaging in Manhattan could be good. But when you don't got a budget, and you can't film in New York, you can't have him take Manhattan, can you? There's maybe 30 seconds of film screen with him there. Most of the movie is Jason on a boat, which I could have gotten behind if you advertised that Jason takes a boat. I could have been okay. But you promise Manhattan, and you don't really deliver. I'm even okay with doing the body double shots because I think it was Ontario that they filmed a lot of it in as doubling for New York. Okay, fine. I'm willing to work with that. But okay, so this one has a graduating class of this was 1989, so possibly that one, but the Friday the 13th is time jumped a little bit, so I have no idea when this is supposed to be. Well, the movie came out in 89, so we'll just say 89. Sure. Okay. And they're taking a cruise to New York. It's kind of like a final senior trip. Or like a graduation party kind of thing. It's kind of unclear the reason for the trip. I mean, like, my senior parties happened right at the end of the graduation, so, it's probably that, I think. But we didn't have, like, a full trip, so. Alright, so, the boat sets out from Crystal Lake to New York. I don't know how that works. The film crew even said they didn't know how that works. They said they didn't care. They knew it didn't make sense to have a full cruise ship go from Crystal Lake to New York. But rather than try to figure it out, they just said, no one's gonna care. Oh, people noticed. People noticed. Anyway, so Jason starts massacring people on the boat until the boat ends up getting so trashed it sinks. And then the surviving characters get into a boat, a little rowboat, and make it to New York. Jason follows them, and there's a little bit of New York. Okay, so I'm just gonna. Also, there's a girl who keeps seeing visions of Jason. She's afraid of the water because when she was a kid, she heard stories of Jason and felt that, and saw him try to pull her under. More on that later. Okay. First off, Jason himself here. This isn't the greatest looking Jason. Ken Hodder is doing the portrayal very well, and the way he moves and acts, fine. The look is what's not working. First off, he's too gooey. A lot of goo. The previous Jason, the design was great. This one, he looks like he just crawled out of a sneeze. Also, they messed with the... It sounds different. It's weirdly echoey and just... It loses the iconicness. That said, And Under the Mask is probably the worst looking Jason out there. It's not good. So, unmasking him in this one's probably the worst move they've done. They unmask him every time, sure, but this one should have skipped it. Okay, so next off. Now, back a long time ago when I reviewed Friday the 13th, I said I loved Crazy Ralph. Really loved Crazy Ralph. He was iconic. This one, they have a guy doing the Crazy Ralph's shtick. Almost line for line, except for without the references to God. Like a deckhand saying that this voyage is doomed. Doomed. You can hear the Crazy Ralph voice, like he's doing an impression. But here, it doesn't add anything. It's just, all you think of is Crazy Ralph, which did it much better. Okay. No, then the kills themselves are okay. Nothing's really standoutish, though. Also, they keep trying to play for this as an entire senior class. You see maybe 10 people. They keep implying that there's more, and they bring a few extras into one area. They just, once the boat starts sinking, it's like, oh, yep, they're gone. The whole class is dead. Which, another timing thing doesn't make sense here, because there's one girl who's still has to give her biology report to the principal, assistant principal. He's the main girl's adopted father, and he's this really overprotective, I think he's their uncle, and he's very strict with the school. They portray him almost villainous, but he is trying to take care of things. He's not, he is trying to do his best, even if he is a dick about it. Unlike the last film where they had the guy who was literally trying to exploit her. No, he just thinks he knows best, and he just clearly doesn't. Anyway, so, biology report. This one, like, queen bee type girl is supposed to give her biology report to him. Okay, first off, if they're already on the graduating trip, why does she still have this report to do? They don't really explain why that has to happen. Also, why is it giving it to the principal and not a biology teacher? It's just an excuse to have her do like a sexy thing with him. So, it's like, the whole movie seems like it has a bunch of ideas, but it's so poorly thought out. Like, you examine any scene and like everything just starts falling apart. Like this, why is this happening? There's no reason for this to happen, other than the excuse to get her to take her shoes off, or shirt off, and none of this movie really makes sense. Which goes into the girl having the visions of Jason. Again, falls apart, if you even look at this one slightly. Okay, so she's having visions of Jason as a kid, and swimming around. Okay, fine. I'm okay with that. And also, like, the visions will actually even try to grab her. Okay, sure. Okay, first off, time frame here. Now, she's having these visions because when she was a kid, she was being taught to swim by same uncle character, throws her overboard and says, better swim, and also tells her that, oh, Jason down there will grab you. Looks down, sees Jason, and has the boy Jason pulling her down. Okay. First, when is all this happening? Does it make sense? Well, it doesn't really make sense time frame wise. Now Jason's this big grown man. Why is he now older than her? Because the kid was about the same age that this happened. Did Jason actually grab her? Because they seem to make it imply that he did, but the timeline doesn't make sense for that. Friday the 13th's timeline is already a mess. So that doesn't make any sense at all either. Okay, that aside, now the vision aspects. Now when she has a vision, the dog in her room actually reacts to the vision. Like, he sees it out the window too, and they actually make a point of showing him reacting. The filmmakers said that they wanted to make Jason more of a supernatural entity here, so wanted the visions to be something, but where are they coming from? So they're clearly not just in her head, and why is only she having these visions if Jason's now projecting ghost shit? I mean, if you didn't have the dog react, it could have just been her having this latent psychic thing, and you could have worked with it. But now you got the dog reacting, you have to account for that. And the fact that I have to say you have to account for a dog reaction is another problem. Okay. So, when we get to New York, that part's okay. Chasing through the city works alright, and seeing Kane Hodder react to things. Fine. Cool. I'm on board for this segment. But of course, they can't film very long in New York, so they quickly take it to the sewer. Now Jason takes the sewer. Which, what happens down there is just ridiculous. Now, I've never really been to New York. I've driven through the state. I haven't been to New York, and I certainly haven't been to New York in the late 80s. But I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, that they don't flood the sewers with toxic waste at late at night. I'm pretty sure that's not a thing. Why is it here? Then while running through there, they encounter a workman who pretty much says, no, you can't be down here. The sewers are about to flood with toxic waste. It happens at night. It's like, why? Why are you flooding New York sewers with toxic waste? And then, of course, that's how they get rid of Jason, is they get him caught in an old tidal wave of toxic waste. Which melts him into a young boy? Baby? Why does toxic waste turn zombie Jason into a living kid? Was it another weird vision thing? Or does this... Why? Why did this happen? I know one thing they're saying that they weren't supposed to completely kill off Jason just because they wanted to have a chance to bring him back. So, but how does this make it any better? And this is never addressed again. I'm pretty sure toxic waste won't do that. I don't care what kind of zombie you are. I don't think it's gonna make you alive and de-age you. I think they were trying to give this whole possible new lease on life for Jason, but I don't think this is how you do it. This movie's a mess. I've seen bad slasher sequels, and this one kind of takes the cake for me. I even thought Freddy's... I don't even know if I can say Freddy's Dead was better. I don't remember what I gave Freddy's Dead, but... this one's a 3 for me. Some of the kills are worth it, and Kate Hodder's performance is the only thing getting it that high. This is a bafflingly, head-scratchingly confused movie. It can be fun to just have a drink and what the fuck? So, what's being shown on screen itself isn't bad, but it falls apart under the slightest scrutiny. Alright, well, I'm a little mixed on the next Jason film for Jason Goes to Hell, so I'll get to that at some point soon. It's, at this point, maybe not the most priority, but we'll see it soon enough. Alright. See you later, Void.